But when I was a new teacher, a little while ago, I was teaching an art class in a high school, in a pretty rough high school actually. And I had one particular boy in my class who was, a very lovable character. And he was normally a little bit cheeky, but the stuff that he was saying really in my class was not like anything else I'd heard before, and it just felt wrong. It felt different. The challenge from him, it had something extra in it. And I thought, there is no way I can leave this child, there's no way I can let this child leave my classroom and hope that he shows up at school tomorrow. It's not good enough. And at that stage of my career, being quite young myself, I didn't have the skills. I didn't have any mental health training. I just knew something was wrong. And I thought, there's no way I could let him leave. So I remember holding him back, and he just thought he was in trouble from something that he had said. And I remember, very clearly leaning up against the whiteboard. I remember how hard and cold it was, and grounding myself and thinking, just play it cool, when I was cool a long time ago. And he stood right in front of me, just on the verge of entering my personal space. And I wasn't afraid or anything like that, but he was very intense. And I said to him, some of the stuff you've been saying in class, mate, it was a bit full on, and you're not in trouble for anything that you said, but I just want you to know that it didn't sit well with me. So, look, I'm just going to ask you, you're going to think I'm crazy anyway for saying it, but just ask it anyway, mate, are you thinking of hurting yourself? And I remember that moment where I mentally patted myself on the back and thought, oh, well done, Alena, look at you go. And that child, without breaking eye contact with me, looked me square in the eyes and said, no, miss, I'm not going to hurt myself, I'm going to kill myself and nothing will ever hurt again. And it was like someone punched me in the throat. It really was. The importance of learning really basic language to use in a crisis situation could not have been made any clearer. It should never have been up to that child, a child. Granted, he was a very big child, but he was still a child, for him to have to teach me, the adult, in that moment of his distress, what I should have said, how I could have said it differently. What's the most effective way of giving him the support that I've always promised I would have for that child being an adult. The long-term impact of that lesson, for me, is that, and this is really what has grounded the development of Beyond Limits Learning Clinic, is that you can take all the complex academic literature and the intimidating, over-dramatic explanations of statistics and data, and you can strip it right down. And you can get rid of all the pompous nature and all the fluff and all the fancy words, and what you have are core, practical skills that everyone needs. What are the practical skills that I can teach that makes a difference? Those are the things that matter. You don't need to be able to repeat chunks of academic literature. We just need to know the core, basic principles, the core actions that we can all use in times where we feel we need it to provide genuine help. And not just help someone, but change a life and save a life. Every Australian has both the right and the capacity to use every single one of those core skills. So, in closing, I would just like to thank you again for all the work that gets done in the community, and for really just for the opportunity and privilege to be here with you today. And I wish you well, and I wish you strength and compassion and a lovely warm day.